to Madhava class, Bhakti Sangha Japa group. So let's start. We are reading the 108 important shlokas of Bhagavad Gita. And we are going to start a new chapter today. So let's start with prayers, invoking the blessings of all the acharyas and the Lord himself. So please let's do it together. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam
तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः. नमो ॐ
Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale
विष्णुभूतले
Namo Namaste
सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी
Saraswati
प्रचारिणि
Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasa
गौरभक्तवृन्दा
Hare
हरे
Krishna
कृष्ण
Krishna
कृष्ण
Krishna
कृष्ण हरे हरे
Hare
हरे राम
Rama
राम
Rama Hare Hare. So we were doing chapter 11 and I told that you'll be having test today, but I'm so sorry I forgot to send you the questionnaire, model questionnaire. So we are not having the test today, but we will have it the next week. Today or tomorrow, I will send you the set of questions, and mostly your test will come from that question, 75% from that. Is that okay? So the tests will be on these shlokas 8, 15, 32, 33, 43, 54 and 55 mainly, but it will also cover the other important translations that we read. So that is why we read over the chapters so to understand what's happening mainly. So we may not have those in the important shlokas, but the main events in the chapter will also be in the test. Is that okay?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay, so today it's 12.1 and chapter 12 is Prahalad. What's the heading of chapter 12?
Devotional service.
Devotional service. And in Sanskrit it is?
Bhakti Yoga.
Bhakti Yoga. Very good. So we are going to learn the first shloka. Arjuna Uvacha.
Arjuna Uvacha.
Evam Satata Yukta Ye.
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 Bhaktastvam Paryupasate.
Bhaktastvām paryupasate.
Bhaktastvam Paryupasate.
Bhaktastvām paryupasate.
Ye chapyaksharam avyaktam.
Ye chabhyaksharam avyaktam.
Ye chapyaksharam avyaktam.
Ye chabhyaksharam avyaktam.
Ye chapyaksharam avyaktam.
Ye chabhyaksharam avyaktam.
Tesham ke yoga vittamaha.
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 Okay, let's recite the whole shloka. Arjuna Uvacha.
Arjuna Uvacha
एवं सततयुक्ता ये
एवं
Evam Satata Yukta Ye
भक्तास्त्वां पर्युपासते
भक्ताः
Bhakta Swam Paryupasate
ये चाप्यक्षरमव्यक्तम्
Echabhyaksharam Avyaktam
तेषां के योगवित्तमाः.
Tesham Ke Yoga Vittamaha.
Okay, so anyone wants to recite this verse?
Can Anshu go, Mataji?
Yes, Anshu.
Arjuna Uvacha Evam Satata Ye Bhaktastvam Paryupasate Echabhyaksharam Avyaktam Tesham Ke Yoga Vittamaha.
Perfect, Anshu. Yeah, Shreya.
अर्जुन उवाच एवं सततयुक्ता ये भक्तास्त्वां पर्युपासते ये चाप्यक्षरमव्यक्तं तेषां के योगवित्तमाः.
Perfect.
Mataji, can Prahlad go?
Yes, Prahlad.
Arjuna uvacha te evam satatayukta ye bhaktasvam paryupasate ye chapyaksharam avyaktam tesham ke yogavittamaha.
Perfect, Prahlad. Varun.
Okay. Arjuna Uvacha Evam Satatayukta Ye Bhakta Swaparyupasate Ye Chapyaktaranam Vyaktam Teshanke Yoga Vittama.
Perfect, Varun. Okay, so um, anyone else wants to try this? Okay, so let's do the synonyms. Tesham. What does Tesham mean?
of them.
Okay, beyond the senses. What's the Sanskrit word for beyond the senses? Prahlad?
Aksharam.
Okay, let me call out names so that it's easy. Okay, also. What is the Sanskrit for also? You just have to see the synonyms and answer. Kartikeya?
It is
Just look in the synonyms to find the equivalent of Sanskrit for the English word also. Oh. Am I audible?
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah. Kartikeya, I'm not able to hear you. Okay, who wants to say also in Sanskrit?
Cha.
Very good. Okay, again. Ameya, can you say what's again? Ameya, look for the word again in synonyms and find its equal in Sanskrit.
Aksharam.
Again is actually api. Okay, Ameya? Yeah, the Sanskrit is first given and then the meaning is given in English. Okay, Srinidhi, can you say the Sanskrit for properly worship?
Paryupasate.
Good job, Srinidhi. Okay. Sunil Kumar.
I'm Divyansh. I'm logged in with my dad's account.
Okay, Divyansh. I was thinking, who's this new kid? Okay. So, Divyansh, can you tell me what's a Sanskrit for devotees?
The Sanskrit for devotees is bhaktaha. I think
Good
that's
job.
what it is.
Good job. Good job. Okay. And the most perfect in knowledge of yoga. Ameya, do you want to try this?
Yeah.
The most perfect in knowledge of yoga. Yoga. Did you see here? This is a Sanskrit.
Okay.
Yoga Vittamaha.
Yoga Vididamaha.
Yes, good job. Okay. You, Kartike, can you say what is equivalent of you in Sanskrit?
Is it Ram?
Tvam. Good job, Kartike. Good job. Okay, so engaged. Krishna Chaitanya, what's engaged?
Yuktaha.
Good job. Okay, Aditya Kasturi, what is Arjuna said?
That's Arjuna Uvacha.
Yeah, that's so easy for you. Okay. Those who, Srinidhi, can you say those who? Those who is? Srinidhi is not there. Okay, Shaurya,
Yes, Mataji.
what is those who in Sanskrit?
Ye.
Yeah, good job. Okay. Arjuna, okay, now evam satata yukta ye. What is that? Can you tell all the words together? Any one of you?
Those who are thus always engaged.
Okay. Bhaktastvam paryupasate.
Devotees you properly worship.
Okay. Echapi aksharam avyaktam.
Also again beyond the senses that unmanifested.
Tesham ke yoga vittamaha.
Of them who are the most perfect in knowledge of yoga.
Yes, perfect, Mishti. Perfect. Translation. Prahlad, can you read the translation?
Arjuna inquired, which you consider to be most perfect, those who are always properly engaged in your devotional service, or those who worship the impersonal Brahman, the unmanifested?
Okay. So, Krishna Chaitanya, can you explain this translation? What you understand from this?
Yeah, I understand. So Arjuna is asking which is the best process out of the two who are engaged in devotional service or the impersonal form. Which is better?
Okay. Who are engaged in devotional service or who are engaged in worshipping the impersonal Brahman? Okay. What is impersonal Brahman?
It's like part of the Brahma Jyoti, and impersonal Brahman is a form of, it's like a form of Krishna. So it's one of the three forms of Krishna, but it's like it doesn't have a form. It's kind of like light Brahma Jyoti.
Very good. Yes. Mishti is like a kind of a light. It's one of the three aspects or form of the of supreme absolute truth. And what else?
It's the effulgence from the Lord.
Yes, it's the effulgence from the Lord. That's correct. Okay. Anything else? Okay. I'm sure you want to say something. So Arjuna is asking which you consider to be more perfect. So Arjuna is asking whose opinion?
The Lord's.
The
Krishna.
Lord's opinion. Okay, there are two kinds of people who worship, and then he is asking which you consider to be more perfect. What are the two kinds of people mentioned here in the definition? Yes, Vikya?
Who are properly engaged in your devotional service, or the persons who worship the impersonal Brahman?
Yes. What do you mean by the unmanifested?
It's like it doesn't have a personal form, so it's hard to behold.
Very good. Yes, it doesn't have a personal form. It's light, and so that aspect of the Lord is called unmanifested. Okay. So Arjuna is asking Krishna's opinion here. Which one is he thinking more perfect? So there are two main differences. Who can read this? The first point.
Can I read?
Yes.
Those who engage themselves in meditation on the impersonal Brahman are called impersonalists. The impersonalist, can you read the second one?
Yes.
The impersonalist also engages himself not directly in the service of Krishna, but in meditation on the impersonal Brahman, the unmanifested.
Yes. So impersonalist. The word impersonalist is opposite to the word personalists. So personalist means, okay, now we learned about impersonalist. Tell me the points that you learned from these two sentences about impersonalists. What do they do mainly?
Meditation.
They do meditation.
So they meditate on what?
Impersonal Brahman.
Personal Brahman. Meditate on.
Personal Brahman, yes. And they meditate on the light aspect of the Lord. And then do they consider themselves as a servant of God?
No.
No.
Then what do they consider themselves as?
God.
Qualitatively and quantitatively equal with the Lord.
Yes, very good. So that's what they are there. Let's come to personalists. Vikyat, can you read the points under personalists?
Yes, Mataji. Personalists. Those who worship the Supreme Lord directly by devotional service are called personalists. Second, the personalist devotee engages himself with all energy in the service of the Supreme Lord.
Thank you, Vikyat. Can anyone explain to me what do you mean by worshipping the Lord directly by devotional service?
Can I say Mataji?
Who's this, Shreya?
Yes.
Yes, Shreya, go ahead.
Worshipping the Supreme Lord directly means that you think of the Lord as a person, and then you think, oh, what does the Lord want to eat, and then you cook that, and then it is like deity worship, because then you're worshipping the Lord in the way that he can enjoy.
Wonderful, Shreya. Wonderful. So directly we are doing devotional service. But someone may say that God is everywhere, isn't it? God is everywhere, right? So then
Yes.
why worship the God separately in the deity form? Why?
So we can imagine what he actually looks like.
Okay. That's one point, okay. If someone asks you, God is everywhere, then why do you want to worship? Why do you want to go to temple and worship the Lord? Because he's everywhere. So what will be your answer?
Can I say Mataji?
Yes, Shreya.
I would tell them that if the Lord is everywhere, then why are you stepping on the Lord and doing all that stuff? So because we cannot worship every single thing, that's why we bring it all to one place, that is the temple.
Wonderful, wonderful. Right. Right. So yeah, although the Lord is everywhere, we don't see the Lord everywhere, right? But when we go to the deity, we cannot but see the Lord only. When you see the deity form of Krishna, you basically see Krishna. You don't see anything else. But I know that the Lord is there in this. But when you see this, what do you see? Do you see Krishna?
No.
What do you see when you see this?
Headphone.
Headphones, okay. What do you see when you see this? Notebook, okay. So let me check. So what do you see when you see this?
Pencil.
Pencil.
What do you see when you see this?
Bottle.
Yeah, pencil case. Okay, what is this? What do you see when you see this?
Ball.
Tennis ball.
Okay, what do you see when you see this?
Picture of Krishna.
Krishna.
Krishna, right? You see, compared to this, all this is material objects, right? But which one reminds you of Krishna?
The picture of Krishna.
The picture of Krishna.
Is Krishna is there in this ball and this pencil case and in this picture, right?
Yes.
But then but then because we cannot see Krishna everywhere, and so Krishna is available in the form of a picture or in the form of a deity form, right?
Yeah.
So that is why we need to do deity worship. So Prabhupada asked this when somebody said that God is everywhere. Then he said, if God is everywhere, why is he not there in the temple? Why shouldn't we worship in the temple? Because God is everywhere. That means God is there in the deity form also. So is
Because
he
because we can't go to the temple all the time.
Yeah, we can go to, right. We can go to the temple all the time, but when we go to the temple and when we see the Lord, when we get used to that again and again, then we see the Lord. Then slowly, slowly we learn to see the Lord everywhere. But that's why deity worship is very important. But do you remember an example of one exalted devotee who saw the Lord everywhere?
Prahlad Maharaj.
Yes, Prahlad Maharaj. Which line from the Namaste Narsimhaya says that?
Is it Bahir Narsimha, Hriday Narsimha?
Yato yato yami tato Narsimha.
Right. Bahir Narsimha, Hridaye Narsimha.
Bahir Narsimha,
Yes, Balavrinda. So, Bahir Narsimha and Hridaye Narsimha. Outside is Narsimha and inside the heart also I'm seeing Yato Yato Yami Tato Narsimha. Wherever I see the Lord. So that was Prahlad Maharaj's exalted position. Okay, so we learned about this, that how, okay, one more famous example that Srila Prabhupada gave, that what is a guarantee that when you worship the Lord, it really reaches the Lord. When you worship the deity, Krishna, actually, you are worshipping actually Krishna.
Raghunath.
Sorry?
Raghunath.
Yes, Raghunath did that when he was offering, the deity came and took from his hand. But there's an example I'm asking. We learned about this, that someone may question that like, for example, this is also a picture, a piece of paper. Someone may claim that this is also a piece of paper. Okay, the pictures in your house is also paper. The deity is metal or the deity is stone. But how is it Krishna also?
Is it the story of Shakshi Gopal?
Yeah, right. Sakshi Gopal proved that the deity is not different from the Lord. But yeah, these are all histories that happen that prove. But then, can you give me an example in daily life what Srila Prabhupada gave?
I don't know, Mataji, if this is right, but when we look at the deity form, it's like very attractive. Like a normal piece of metal that you just decorate won't be so attractive. And then in the temple hall, we feel like really like the presence of something like a different.
Wonderful. That's true. That's true. Because the Lord is present there. That's why he's so attractive. Very good. Yeah, that's also the answer. My question is, when you serve the Lord, how does it reach the Lord? There is an example that Srila Prabhupada gave. I'll give you a clue. It's about, the example is snail mails. Before email came, letters. So have you gone and posted your letters or received your letter from your mailbox?
Yes.
Post goes to the post office.
Yes, the post box and the post office. That's the example, right? So you write the letter, you want to send a birthday card to someone or a thank you note, and then you write a card, and then you put it in the cover, you put it in the stamp. You're not giving them in person, but you're going and putting it in a box called post box or a mail box, right? But when you put it in a mailbox, does it reach the person?
No, I mean it does, but it takes a couple days.
Yeah, that's okay. But it does reach, right?
Yeah.
Yes, the same way, deity is like Krishna is present there to accept your worship instantly. Is like a embassy of the spiritual world, is an example of a mailbox. So just like when you put a letter in your mailbox, it reaches your friend, whomever you wrote that to. Similarly, when we worship the Lord in the form of his deity, it reaches the deity, it reaches the Lord himself. So impersonalists are people who use all energy in the service of the Lord. Not that all energy to oneself for playing and only one round of chanting. Okay, so in the purport, Srila Prabhupada compares different, what are the different things that we learned from different chapters. So let me ask if who wants to read this.
Mataji, can Varun?
Yes, Varun.
Okay. In the second chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, the Supreme Lord explains that a living entity is not the material body. It is a spiritual spark, and the absolute truth is the spiritual whole.
Can you remember some shlokas where
Is it Dehi Nosmin Dehe?
Yes, can you say the shloka?
Dehi Nosmin Dehe Kaumaram Yavanam Jala Tata Dehantara Prapti Dhiras Tatanamugyati.
Very good. What's the meaning of this? Translation of this? Anyone knows?
Mataji, can I say?
Yes, Mishti.
So it's like how as a person, like it's like how a person goes from like different, like from how he's young and he grows up, the same way the soul, it takes on different bodies, and it's like the same way it grows and then it dies, and a sober person is not bewildered by like such a change.
Very good, Mishti. Very good. Yes. And do you remember any other shloka? Because Krishna is comparing the soul to something and the body to something.
Mataji said Bhagavad Gita 2.22.
Yeah.
Yes, Mishti. I want to see. Can I give a chance to others if anyone else wants to say? If not, I'll come to you.
Can we get it?
Yes, Vikyant.
Pasanchirnani yata vihaya navani krishnati naroparani tata sharirani vihaya jirnanya anyani samyati navani dehi.
Yes, perfect. You see, he says that the soul, just like we remove the body, the soul gives up the old and useless body and accepts the new one. And Krishna says that this spiritual spark is the part and parcel of the absolute truth. So that's why he's saying, know that which pervades the entire body is indestructible. Soul is cannot be destroyed. No one is able to destroy the imperishable soul. Okay, and at the end of the 6th chapter, the Lord clearly said that of all yogis, one who always thinks of Krishna within himself is considered the most perfect. Now, who knows the shloka? Raise your hand.
I don't think we can raise our hand.
You're not able to raise your hand?
I'm on a Chromebook this time. I think that's why.
Oh, okay. Go ahead, Krishna Chaitanya.
Okay. Yoginam api sarvesham madgatenandaratmana tavan bhajate yomam sahe yuktatamo mata.
Yes. So Krishna says that those who, of all the yogis, one who thinks of me within himself is considered by me to be the best of all yogis. So how you can think of Krishna within himself? Only, I mean, this is again, Krishna is saying the personalist form of the Lord, that the worship of the personal form, and of that he considered it to be the best of yogi. One who is always thinking of him within his heart is the one who's connected to him, and is the best of yogis. This is what he says in the 6th chapter, 47th verse. Then, what does he say in the 7th chapter? Who can read this? Ameya, do you want to read this? The 7th chapter?
Yes, Mataji.
Can you read this, Ameya?
Yeah. In the 7th chapter, he spoke of the living entity as being part and parcel of the Supreme Whole and recommended that he transfer his attention fully to the whole.
Yes. So he's saying that the living entity is part and parcel of the Supreme Whole. And he said that there is a way how you can cross over Maya. Anyone can tell the shloka? In the shloka, Krishna says how to cross over Maya.
Can I say the shloka, Mataji?
Mishti?
Yes, Mataji.
Go ahead, Mishti.
Okay, Mataji. Devi Esha Guramayi Mama Maya Turatyaya Mameva Ye Prapadyante Maya Metam Tarantite.
Perfect. Very good, Mishti. I'm so impressed. That's perfect. So what's the meaning of this?
Are you asking me?
Anyone else can also say. Let's see if anyone else can say.
Mataji,
You can
can
look up.
Varun say?
Yes, Varun.
Okay. The meaning for this verse is Krishna's divine energy, Maya, which has the three modes of material nature, which is Rajasic, Tamasic, and Sattvic. It's very difficult to overcome, but those who will surrender to him can cross over it very easily.
Very nice, Varun. Perfect, Varun. That's beautiful. So here also, Krishna is encouraging surrender unto him, unto his personal form, basically. So he says, he didn't say that surrender unto my impersonal form. So here also he stresses that. And in the 8th chapter, Kartikeya, do you want to read this?
Yes, Mataji. Then again, in the 8th chapter, it was said that anyone who thinks of Krishna at the time of quitting his body is at once transferred to his spiritual side, to the abode of Krishna.
Yes, thank you, Kartikeya. So who knows this shloka? Raise your hands. Where Krishna says in the 8th chapter that if you think of me at the end of your life, at the time of quitting my body, your
Can I say
body.
Mataji? Can I say Mataji?
Is that Shreya?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay, Shreya.
Antakale cha mameva smaran muktva kalevaram yaprayati samadbhavam yati nasti atra samshayah.
Perfect. You see that? So what's the meaning of this? Let me ask someone else to say the meaning. Who wants to say the meaning of this verse? Prahalad?
Okay.
Antakalecha.
Okay. Oh yeah. And whoever at the end of his life quits his body, remembering me alone, at once attains my nature. Of this there is no doubt.
Yeah, thank you, Prahlad. See how Krishna is saying that at the end of his life, thinks of me alone. So if you want to think of someone, you have to think of their personal form. Then he says that there is no doubt that he reaches my nature. Like means he is also becomes transcendental like the Lord. So that's how one can attain Krishna. Again, here he says that how it's very recommendable, and he himself is advocating worshipping his personal form, thinking of his personal form at the time of death. So how is it possible to think of Krishna at the time of death?
Like sometimes it can be hard to focus your mind, but like if we practice now, then slowly we'll be able to easily focus our mind on Krishna. And if we always think of Krishna, then at the time of death, we'll be thinking of Krishna.
Very good, Krishna Chaitanya. Wonderful answer, right? It's not easy to focus on Krishna because the whole system inside the body, it goes up and down, and there is so much of pain. And in all those, how will we think of the Lord if we don't practice? So if we are practicing thinking about the Lord now, when we are nice, then by the mercy of the Lord, his remembrance will come to us at the time of giving away this body. So how to practice thinking about Krishna?
By engaging in this devotional service.
Very
And
good.
like relating everything that we do to Krishna, like studying for Krishna. So then at the time of death, whatever we'll be doing, we'll be thinking, I'm doing this for Krishna. And then when we quit our body, Krishna will make sure that we remember him.
Wonderful, wonderful. That's a very nice answer. So we are thinking, we practice to think that I'm doing this for Krishna, to please Krishna. Then it's easy, right? So, but what is the beginning point?
Chanting?
Yes, chanting how many times?
16 rounds.
16 rounds is recommended. But if is there anyone who's chanting 16 rounds here?
No.
Okay.
No.
So then you have to fix a number that you can do and regularly do that without fail. Like for example, you can say that I can do 1 round or 4 rounds or 8 rounds or whatever it is, but that you dedicatedly do and then you stick to that. Whether you have homework, whether you have tests, whether you are on a holiday, but then whatever come what may, you are dedicated to that number of times of chanting. Do you think it's easy to do? I mean, it's okay. You can fix the number of rounds according to your convenience. But if you fix a number of rounds, can you stick to that?
Yes.
Yes, that
Yes.
is beginning of devotion. So that's what makes us practice. So we are practicing whatever it is. We are practicing to think about the Lord by chanting his holy names. Then it becomes easy, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay.
Mataji, I thought that that hearing was the starting of devotional service.
Yes, hearing also, like now we are hearing, it is starting, because without hearing, how will you chant? But then if you keep on hearing and if you don't chant also, it's not, it'll take a long time for us to advance. That's why Srila Prabhupada said that chanting is, of all the things, he gave importance to chanting the holy names of the Lord, a fixed number of rounds every single day. So when you chant, what you do? What you should
You
do?
hear yourself. You have to chant
Yes.
loud so that you can hear yourself.
Yes, Anshu, very good. So you chant and then you receive the mantra through your ears with great respect. Okay, because the Lord is not different from his names and he has come in the form of a sound form. So we receive him through our ears, and there comes hearing. Okay. So the conclusion is that in practically every chapter, the conclusion has been that one should be attached to the personal form of Krishna, for that is the highest spiritual realization. That is why you find so many temples in India, and that's worshipping the personal form of the Lord. So here are two examples how the Lord converted some great teachers of impersonalism. So he is, who's this great person?
Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya.
Yes, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, and he was the chief priest of the king of Puri, Prataparudra, and he was preaching impersonalism uh, even to the sannyasis. He's very, very learned and scholarly. So what he did was, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came in front of Jagannath temple, as soon as he saw Jagannath, he fainted. And then Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya had him bring him over to his house, and then he thought that this is a very realized stage of a love for Krishna. This person is exhibiting that bodily symptoms. Who's this person? But he looks very young and he's so beautiful, and he's a sannyasi also. So then he started saying that, please, all sannyasis, they should learn Vedanta Sutra. And I want to teach you what is Vedanta Sutra. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, yes, I will listen from you. So Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya spoke to him at length about what is Vedas and Vedanta Sutras for how many days?
7.
7 days. What did Chaitanya Mahaprabhu answer?
His explanation was not sufficient.
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not ask any questions. And then he was asking, I'm so surprised. You're listening for 7 days and you did not have any questions. He said that you asked me to listen. I listened. I can understand very well what the Vedanta Sutras are, but what I cannot understand is your explanations, which looks like it's covering the main, very simple main verses. And Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya got a bit offended and he said, oh, my explanations you cannot understand? Are they covering the Vedanta Sutras? Now, then can you explain to me what is Vedanta Sutra? Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu started explaining and he refuted each and every point that Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya told, and Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was stunned. And he said that now it is so clear to me. You told me how personal form of the Lord is the source or the resting place of the impersonal form of worship also, and worshipping him in person is the best. Now I can understand. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu showed his how many armed form?
6.
6-armed form.
So what do the 6 arms denote?
Rama, Krishna, and Chaitanya.
Yes, Vikyat. So 2 arms, the green color arms which has bow and arrow shows that he is Rama himself, and the blue ones which have the flute showed that he is Krishna, and then the golden ones which had the staff and the water part is the symbol of sannyasis. That's what the sannyasis carry. So he showed him his personal form, and then Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya fell down prostrated obeisances to him. Then there was one other person who was a leader of the Mayavadis, impersonalists in Banaras, in Varanasi, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu changed him also with his explanations and with his chanting and dancing. We will see that in length the further classes. Okay, so this is what we learned today. How Arjuna is asking a question: who's the supreme? Which one is considered more perfect? The persons who worship the personal form, or the persons who worship the impersonal aspect of the Lord? And let's see what the Lord himself answers at the class after. But the next class you will have a test on. We will also ask you to write the shlokas, 1 or 2 or 3 shlokas or their translations. So we can go through 11.8, 15, 32, 33, 43, 54, and 55. Let me quickly 11.1 also. So can we take turns and recite these shlokas? Who wants to do 11.1? Who wants to do 11.1?
I can do it,
Mataji
Mataji.
can
I can do it. Can Divyansh?
Can Divyansh?
Okay, Divyansh, yes.
Arjuna Vacha Mananugrahaya Paramam Gupyam Adhyatma Samvitam Yatvayaktam Vachastena Mohoyam Vikato Mama.
Very good, Divyansh. Can someone else say the translation of this?
Can Varun say it?
Okay, Varun, go ahead.
Should I say the verse or only the translation?
Translation of the 11.1.
Okay. Arjuna said, by hearing the instructions Krishna has kindly given him about the most confidential spiritual knowledge or subjects, his illusion has been dispelled.
Very good. Okay, 11.8. Vikyat, can you say?
Mataji, can I say 11.15?
Okay, 11.8. Who wants to say?
Can I say, Mataji? This is Mishti.
Yes, Mishti.
Okay, Mataji. न तु मां चक्षुषे द्रष्टुम् अनेनैव सुचक्षुषा दिव्यं ददामि ते चक्षुः पश्य मे योगमैश्वरम्.
Okay, who can say the translation of this?
Mataji, I can translate it.
Vikyat, yes.
Is it like you can't I would be happy to show you my form, but you can't see me with your present eyes. Therefore, I give you divine eyes. Behold my mystic opulence.
Yes, Vikyat. Very good. Very good.
Mataji, can I say 11.15?
Yes, Prahlad.
Yami devam stava devatehe sarvam stata bhuta vishesha sangam brahmanamisham kamalasanasam rishimscha sarvam uragamscha divyam.
Very good. Can anyone say the translation of this?
Can I say, Mataji?
Yes, Mishti.
So Arjuna is saying that he sees in Krishna's body all the sages, all the demigods, all the divine serpents, Brahma sitting on a lotus flower, Shiva, and yeah, that's what he says. That's what he says.
Very good. Since we are running out of time and we have to do Kahoot also, so I leave you to please read, everyone memorize 32, 33, 44, 54, and 55. Okay. So do you want to do the Kahoot?
Yes, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji.
One minute. Give me- Oh, go there. You can enter into another Okay, so I'm going to share the screen. So this is the number 6301873. Is everyone joined?
Mataji, I'm still joining.
I'm still joining Mataji. 1 second.
Yeah.
I'm in Mataji.
Okay, that's it.
Mataji, I'm still
No,
joining.
ma'am, I didn't join
Mataji, I'm
it.
still joining.
Okay, okay. Kartikeya, Ameya, Divyan, Shaurya.
Oh no.
That's it? Okay, everyone in?
No, Mataji, Ameya still has to join.
Yeah, Ameya just now
Mataji,
joined.
I'm already in.
Yes, okay, so we can start.
Yeah, everybody's in.
Get ready. 3, 2, 1. The title of chapter 12 is should have given only 10 seconds for this.
Mataji, there's an option to skip when, like, I think it's when there's only 12 players.
Okay, so Aditya, Shreya, the winner pray, Aditya K and Krishna Chinta. Okay, who is Aditya R? Were you in the class?
Yes.
Mataji, he's attending from my.
Sorry?
Aditya R is attending from my computer.
Who are you?
Srinidhi.
Oh, Srinidhi. Okay, is that your brother?
Yeah.
Okay. Those who engage themselves in meditation on the Brahman are
You can find this out right away. It's pretty easy.
Did everyone answer?
Yeah, it's 13 answers.
Mm,
Yes, Mataji.
Okay, 9 of you answered right. Yes, it is impersonalists. Let's see the score. Yeah, I was wondering Aditya R was not in the class and how did he come for the Kahoot? How old are you, Aditya?
I'm 12, Mataji.
Okay, I didn't get to interact with you during the class, so I was wondering. Good, Aditya, Srinidhi, Aditya Kasturi, Krishna Chinta, and Shreya. Be ready for the next question. It's a multi-select. The personalists yes, 13 were right. Engages in the service of the Lord and directly worships the Lord. Those were the 2 points. If you remember from the slides, good job. Aditya, Srinidhi, Aditya, Krishna Chinta, and Vikyant. Okay, let's go to the next question. Arjuna is asking which of the following is better. It's a very easy question. I should have given 10 seconds for this.
Everybody has answered, Mataji, I think.
Okay. This is a very easy question, right? Impersonalist or personalist? This is directly from the translation. Let's see the scoreboard. It says the same, and the winner just hit answer streak 4. Fifth question, it's also a multi-select. The living entity yes, it's 3 answers. The spirit soul is perceived by consciousness and is undying. It's only that it's not temporary, it's eternal.
Mataji, could you go into why it's perceived by consciousness?
It's perceived by consciousness because the presence of the living entity can be known when the person is conscious or when a living entity is conscious, right? Consciousness is a symptom of the presence of the soul.
Oh, okay. So that's what that means?
Yeah. Okay. Perceived means the symptom. Whether a person is, whether a living entity is, if you want to see whether a cockroach or something is dead or alive, how will you see that? Whether it's conscious, right?
Yeah. I was wondering because I was we can see it because of consciousness, or we see it of consciousness. Okay.
Because we cannot see the soul, we can see the body, we cannot see the soul, but we can perceive the soul or understand the presence of the soul by consciousness. That was what I meant.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you. Is that Shreya or who was that?
Vikyat, Mataji.
Vikyat, okay. The way to cross over Maya is it's also a very easy question.
Just jump over. Just jump over.
That's the answer, right, Divyan?
Yeah, right. I told you.
Srinidhi has come second place. That's right. Okay, Shreya just did the answer streak 3. Okay. 7th question. The best yogi is?
Another very easy question.
Yes.
What meditates on the light?
Yes,
that's the answer.
I know, it's so obvious.
Didn't you say that, Mataji, that it was the answer?
Yeah, Mataji even said that.
One person fell for it.
Yeah, Mataji definitely said that.
Yes, 13 people have done right. That's good. Scoreboard going. 8th question. Antakale cha mameva.
Very, very, very easy question.
It's Same Yukta Dhammattahi. Is that's the answer?
Oh yeah!
The next line of the shloka. You just have to think which one is the next line of the shloka. Yes, Maran Muktva Kalevaram. That's the next line.
Yep, Prayati Samadbhavam, the line after that.
What? Just hit streak 3 and that's nice. Arjuna was attached to?
The impersonal form.
Yeah, I know. That's what I think.
Yeah, of course it's the impersonal form.
11 people got it right. That's right. Arjuna was attached to the two-handed form of the Lord. With the highest answer streak of 9. Good. Last question.
Everyone
all
can
chapters, Lord Krishna's. Can everyone mute, please?
Isn't it true?
It's false. I click false.
Yes, you should have clicked
When
false.
people got it right, let's see
The answer.
Srinidhi is in the 3rd place. Aditya case in the second place. And first one is Aditya R. Very good. And runners up for Krishna, Chaitanya, and Pray. Winner the Pray. Okay, good job, everyone. Do you want to see the full report?
Yes,
No.
yes, 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 yes. This is the best part of the Kahoot.
If you win, you get a moment of pride, but if you don't win, you get a moment of sadness.
Yeah, who's that? But how do we take it? Moment of pride and moment of sadness according to Krishna.
Krishna's will.
Take it as well. You did it and you tried your best and you're engaging in devotional service of Krishna, so it doesn't matter. But that doesn't mean you should not try and say, oh, I did it, so it doesn't matter.
Wonderful, Divyansh. I like that answer. Very good. The whole Bhagavad Gita, Krishna repeats this again and again. Great. I'm proud of you. Thank you, everyone, very much. And get ready for the exam next week. And I will send you some questions. Okay?
Okay, Mataji.
Hare
Thank you all
Krishna.
very much.
Adios.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare
Nice
Krishna.
Mataji.
Kartikeya. Hare Krishna. Very good. Nice. Yes.
Yeah.
Bala